And I think it started. What's going on, people? Today, we're going to talk about something that's been heavy on my mind. Well, everybody wants to be average. I hear people saying, I don't want to be average. I hear people saying, look, um, I want to be better than I was before. I want to be exceptional. I want to make exceptional money. I want to live an exceptional lifestyle. I want to do this. But I keep getting signals to the contrary. Case in point, I'm have a lot of new projects that are coming this year. I'm supposed to be taking the day off, but I couldn't. I was doing some research. One of the video concepts I wanted to do was how to be more than average. And there are many videos with those titles, and they all suck. And what I mean they suck, it's not the video content, it's no one's really interested in that. Very few people, the 0.5%, not the 1%, not the 5%, the 0.5% are people who want to be better than average. I got this comment on the video today, how to get the $100,000 visa. I go into detail how you can do it, and it requires work. And someone's like, hey, I ain't gonna even watch it. This isn't what I want. I want some kind of scam. I want some type of magic pill. I don't want to work. I don't want to invest nothing. I just want I want, and I want it to be easy. I want it to be simple, and I want it to be quick. Everybody's trying to be average, want to get some different results. Been doing a lot of research on this fire movement, right? Financial independence, retire early. Let me tell you what one I found. Now, there was this one $70,000 a year income, has a nest egg of $2.5 million, all achieved within 10 years. That just didn't sound doable to me because that's $700,000 from the $70,000 income, right? Minus taxes, there's a house involved. So it only leaves 300 and something to possibly 400,000 to invest. I took time, I did the math. There ain't no way that that could happen off 400,000. You're not going to get $2.5 million in a portfolio with a $300 to $400,000 investment. It's not happening. Consistently over 10 years, for those type of returns, you've got to get into some very risky stuff, which could potentially do that, but it also has the potential to wipe you out. And I was just sitting there like, why don't people do the numbers? Why aren't people interested in the truth? Because people want what they want. And I was in this position where I could give you what you need, or I could lie to you. There are many people on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram who are lying to you. And many people know they're lying to you. And that little glimmer of hope, that little, just maybe it's potentially, possibly true, you cool with it. Then someone like me tells you the truth, and I'm an asshole. One of my problems with the fire movement, it's taken over. You cannot retire a millionaire on any income. If you and this is something else because I went through it. I'm doing this exercise earlier today. Was making 35K, had a wife, 2 kids, no car note. My car was paid for. Didn't eat out. I remember going to work with holes in my shoes. It was a struggle, and 35,000 adjusted today, it's close to 55, 60,000. We didn't have fancy stuff. We didn't go shopping. And I'm hearing this, you could do it on any income. And then there was this guy who amassed 500K, only making 12 bucks an hour. The rest of the story is it took him 50 years. And I'm just sitting there like, there's a better way. I want everyone to do this. I want you to pull out a pen and paper, and I want you to write on this this paper, you got the ability to invest $50,000 per year. You can invest $50,000 per year and you get a return of 12K for 10 years and see what you come up with. $50,000. I mean, you got enough money to live on, all your bills are paid, you living how you want to, but you can invest 50K a year for 10 years. Do the math at 12% return and see where you end up with. Because your principal is going to be 600K. And see what you end up with. You're still going to end up with $2.5 million. Investing 50K, getting a return of 12%. So where are we, people? Do you want the truth? Do you want to learn how to be truly financially independent? Or do you want people to keep lying to you? It's kind of like that scene in The Matrix where the guy's like, I know this isn't steak, but I want this because I don't want to deal with the truth that it is hard out there. There's these sentinels flying around, zapping and killing people. Just keep me plugged up to the matrix, keep pumping me full of nutrients, and keep playing with my mind. You can take the red pill or you can take the blue pill. What do you want? Seriously, put this in the comments. What do you want? Because I'm going to give you some more numbers. You take $2,000 a month times 12, add it up for 10 years. Many of you could earn $2,000 a month on top of your current occupation, various ways. Many people say, what should I do? What's the best way? What do you know how to do? You can do Craigslist, you can do eBay, you can do Amazon, you could create a portable barbecue trailer, you could do welding. I saw a video today and it was a really good video. It's on Alvin's page. It was about this guy whose family was in the heating and air business. And in the weekend, 5 hours work, he made $1,600 installing this boiler upstate. 683 views. That was it. There should have been way more. Way more. You know, $1,600 in 5 hours. The average person doesn't make it in 40 hours. Many people don't even make it in 80 hours. But everybody wants to be average. Everybody wants to be, well, let me just put it in a nutshell. You want to be successful. You want to have more money, but you want it to fit into the frame of who you currently are. You do not want to grow the frame. You don't want to do that. You want it to fit within this comfort zone that you already have. And if it doesn't, you're not really interested in that. And that's why I say the 0.5%, not the 1%. That's a misnomer. You know, the 1%, all of me. No. The billionaire class is the really 2% or 3% of the population. And the millionaire class is really, once you get into multiple millions, not like 1 point something million, including your house, but when you get to 5, 6, 7 million, that's the 0.5%. And if you want to be in that 0.5%, you got many paths. This is the good news. You can do so many things, but you got to do them well, and do them consistently. That's it. There are no shortcuts. There's nothing radical right now. And I am so glad this recession is coming. I'm serious. I know it sounds really messed up, but I am so glad this recession is coming. You have a whole class of people who are developing businesses not to serve the public, but to be acquired. That's their roadmap. It's like get enough followers, get enough subscribers, get enough people on the platform, sell it to one of these Fortune 5,000 companies. That's the plan. That's about to be really, really messed up. Something else I found out today, and I was really shocked. Years ago, I used to live in Clayton County. For those of you who know where that is, you know that Clayton County has gone through many, many changes. I used to live in Clayton County before the Katrina evacuees were deposited there in South DeKalb. I remember they were offering DSL. When I got my DSL in Clayton County, it was a 12,000, no, not 12,000, 1,200 square foot house. Pretty much a shotgun house. It had like 6 rooms and one was the bathroom. The tech came to my house and I was like, get me some DSL, because this was during the AOL dial up and that stuff. The difference between the AOL dial up and the DSL was like not even night and day. It was between Earth and Pluto. And the technician told me, he said, you know what? You're the first one to get this. I was like, the first one in the neighborhood? He said, no, the first one in the county. You know, we got some more orders, but you're the first one. At that point, I just knew the internet was the future. I just knew it. And I put in, and it was expensive. You know, people thought I was crazy paying that much for some internet. The reason I bring this up, in 2019, 40% of the country still doesn't have 40 to 45% of the country still doesn't have high-speed internet. I was listening to it. It blew my mind. There are many not highly populated areas that don't have high-speed internet. I'm serious. It's like, I know everyone's got internet. People got internet on their phone. They got to have it. No, they don't. And that is going to hold people back. Everywhere I've lived, I've always got the fastest and best internet I could because I knew it was the future. I've got the 1 gigabyte thing over there. It really is 600 to 700. But, you know, 5G is about to be rolled out, and these areas are not going to get the 5G. They're just now getting 4G because local groups are putting together modems and giving their town 4G. One of the reasons that I have been able to defy my upbringing, and I'm going to get real deep here. I forget who it was, but when he said the average person income topped out at 37, I was sitting there like, I knew that people maxed out 40 something, 50 something. Then after that, it was a wrap. The income would just start going down. If they wasn't set by then, it wasn't going to be set. And I started doing research. For me, the product of a, quote, single dysfunctional mother, at age 32, I started to accelerate my income. The job at Rent-A-Crate, business environments, GC Solutions, then doing my own thing. How did this happen? This thing right here, the internet. This is eBay, Craigslist. Someone said they were doing Craigslist before I was, because if you didn't know, Craigslist was started in San Francisco by Craig Newmark. When I was doing Craigslist here in Atlanta, only tech people knew about it. I had like a 2 or 3 year advantage. It was the internet, baby. It was the internet. And I say this because if you're parents and you don't have high-speed internet, you're messing your kids over. I don't have small kids, but I hear now that everything's being done on the tablet. And if your kid doesn't have that tablet, excuse me, doesn't have that high speed internet at home, your child is falling behind. I went to school. I went to college. I was dropped out my junior year. That had nothing to do with my success. It was this internet. And if you want to be average, you're going to have average internet. You're going to have an average consumption based mindset. I have been a producer on the internet, selling stuff, serving people since 2000. This here is been the reason for my success, the internet. And I see many people still haven't embraced it. Still like, man, that's the internet. Everybody's on the internet. They're trying to get money out. Yeah, you should be trying to get money out of people. Yes. When I come up here and I say go down below and get into my basic finance course, I am trying to get your money. Absolutely, positively, yes. And you should be doing it. This whole notion of kumbaya, we all around the campfire trying to help each other, that is a poor person mentality. You want to know why poor people are so tight in these neighborhoods? They have to be. Marinate on that. It ain't like they're doing this out the goodness of their heart. They're doing it because they have to. I live in an affluent neighborhood. I know a few of my neighbors. We've talked. I've gone to their house and stuff. These folks don't need nothing from me. I don't need nothing from them. It's a whole different meeting experience. It's a whole different, but see, you might be friends with Mim because Mim's gonna watch your kids, even though you don't really like Mim because Mim smells bad at times. But she watch your kids, and when Mim kids are safe. You need that. You have to have that. But once you start to climb out of the normal stuff, get off the bus of average, you will find yourself not being so needy. This isn't a prescription to go out and be a dick or to be bad to people. But one of the reasons that many well-off people are dicks is they can do it and it ain't going to impact their finances. You in the hood, you being a dick, you being unkind to people, a small neighborhood, everybody's going to know that. And people going to start to back away from you and you're going to need something from somebody and they ain't going to be there for you because you're a dick. If you stay on this bus of the regular Joe, average people, I don't know. If I had $1 for every time someone emailed me, Facebook messaged me, hit me up on Instagram, what do you have for the average man? I have nothing for the average man. You should not want to be average. You should not want to stay in being average. And one of the things I've seen, because I've been doing a lot of research, is there are many people who are in a silo. They want what they want within the narrow confines of their frame. And you are a demon if you tell them otherwise. I've been watching a lot of new YouTubers come up, and I've noticed a message. If they're kind of like their population, there's so much love. There's so many people. But once they start to come up, man, the haters start. It's really interesting how the hate starts. It is crazy. But you're going to have to get off the bus of average. And if you feel that I am preaching to you, you probably want to unsubscribe from this channel. Because once again, I've made my decision. I've drawn my line in the sand. I am not going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you need. And you need the truth. And you need real numbers. Because when that said a portfolio of 2.5 million on the income of $700,000, I was like, that my mind instantly said, that doesn't add in 10 years. Now, if he had been earning 300K, okay, 200K, All right. Maybe 150. Okay. But 70K with a wife and 3 kids? You know the wife ain't working. Commuting costs. And I was like, this ain't adding up. But one of the things is because so many people are average, they will believe anything because they don't know any better. There was like 3 people in the comments who was like, this don't add up. I didn't say anything because I'm not in the habit of going to someone else's channel and leaving my dissenting comments because it's pointless. One of the things that has happened with the internet is tribes have formed. And if you come in speaking a different language from that tribe, you're just going to be assassinated. They're going to hang you. They're going to shoot you. They're going to pull the arrow because you're speaking some, and I speak a lot of stuff that people don't want to hear. Just don't want to hear. But see, that's why I'm so glad this recession's coming. You may not want to hear it, but you remember when your car is being towed away because you went out and bought a $70,000 car, only making $45,000 a year. You can't afford that car. You can't. Once again, if you're making less than 50K a year and you have other debt, you cannot afford a car note. I've said that many times. I've brought that up over the years. And a lot of people like, yeah, Glenn, and I hear you, but I'm going to go ahead and get me this Camaro. I'm going to get me this Charger, man. I'm going to have this $750 per month car note plus $250 for insurance, plus about $400 for gas as I live on the south side, but my job's on the north side. So what if I'm paying $1,200, $1,400 out of my $3,000 per month check? I'm good, man. People don't do the math. I'm in the habit of doing the math. It's automatic. Once I hear some numbers, I'll stop. All right. That's why I knew that 700K and that 2.5, that didn't mesh up. Now, 30 years, that would work. 10, And part of me feels that there are many people in the fire community who are selling you this. They're lying to you, but I think they're lying to you for a good reason, to light a fire under your butt. I think there's some people, because one guy, he was like, we're not retired. This is another thing. Financial independence, retire early. Virtually all of these people are working in some capacity. Have you ever heard me say I was retired when I wasn't? Only time I was retired was when my book was doing very amazingly and I didn't have to do anything. Other than that, I've been self-employed. Most of these folks are self-employed. They've reached the first stage of financial independence, which is freeing up their time, but they still got to work. This is the thing. Oh, let's talk about this. This is just a random stream, just getting some stuff off my chest. For you folks who are walking off jobs, not telling anybody, let me tell you a little story. When I was working in the labor pool, I had the good fortune to work a lot of junk, nasty jobs, pouring hot tar on the roof in this Georgia heat in July. The higher you go, the hotter it gets. Picking up trash out of the landfill, throwing ice from a truck. That was actually one of the better jobs. So I got sent on this job because I was there. And the girl at the labor pool, she looked out for me. She didn't like me. She was just a cool chick. And I got there and there was this call and she said, no, you sit right there. I got something for you. Sent everyone else out and she gave me this ticket. She's like, you only have to be there from 9 to 5. So I went over to Ellsworth Industrial. Then there was this Flamingo Novelties. You know what the job was? To take these boxes, open them up, inspect some things, fill out this sheet that, hey, these were good or not, and then move them over here to the spot. That was the job. That, based upon perspective, and perspective is very, very deep. That's a dream job for, where I was back then. I was in the air conditioning. There was a bathroom around the corner and I had 30 minutes for lunch and they paid for lunch. I was like, This was when Frank Ski first came to Atlanta, and I used to listen to V103. They let me bring a radio, and I was just like, and I did that job to the best of my ability. I put a system in place where I could do more in less time. Now, let me say this again. I could do more in less time. After the first week there, the lady comes out, she says, we're going to keep you. She said, you're the best one of the people that we've ever had from the labor pool. You've actually figured out how to do more in less time. She said, that's very rare. And I'm going somewhere with this. So for all you folks who's like, oh, Glenn is just rubbing his balls on the screen, talking about how good he is. Listen. When you get a job and you don't do your best because you don't feel that you're being paid enough, you don't feel that the people respect you, you don't feel that the people like you, you think that habit is going to change when you start your own business? The best time to develop good habits for your business is when you work for someone else. And I was just so grateful to have this job. I did it the best. I had a quota. I exploded that quota. I think it was like 50 something a day. I was doing like 110 per day. There was a few days they ain't had nothing to do. And she said, well, just hang out, fill out your timesheet. We're going to pay you. So I'm like, fine. So I just started sweeping up because I need to do something. Then I found some other stuff. And the only reason that I did not go full time is they sold the company, and the lady gave me $500. It's like, thank you for your good work. I'm going to do great things in life. I can just tell. So all of this, quitting jobs, being a loser, being a turd, being a turkey on someone else's job because you got your lip stuck out because they ain't paying you enough. Your income is determined on your ability and your service to the world. If you're making chump change, more than likely you a chump. I know, unsubscribe, leave dirty comments, go right ahead. I don't care. I've been getting these dirty comments for 10 years. But you know something else I've been getting? I have been getting 0.5%. I've been getting a group of people, the minority, who's like, you know, this dude making sense. And they take action and they change their lives. I'm here for those people. If you are upset at anything I said, more than likely you're a loser. Just facts, as they say on these internet streets, because I am trying to prepare you for what's coming. And it ain't going to be nothing nice. It ain't going to be nothing nice. This government shutdown is exposing a lot of stuff. You're seeing that many people are on the brink of financial disaster. Some people already have crossed over into financial disaster. And it's only been 2 paychecks. Or 1. It'll soon be 2. This is how America's living. Paycheck to paycheck. No savings, no money set aside. And then you have this other group of people who are the fire folks who are giving you this wonderful template of how you can retire in some ridiculously compressed timelines and not work that hard. Carl, little Susie, it ain't true. And that's something that I, as a person, had to embrace. I looked in that mirror in that boarding house and was like, reason you here is because you don't have skill sets. That's truth. At that time, I was in that boarding house, the economy was roaring. I wasn't roaring. My personal economy was just sucking wind because I didn't have the skill sets. And once I understood that, 6 weeks later, I was out of that boarding house. I had been there almost 3 years because I was mad. I was disgusted. I was upset. I was blaming other people for my problems. And the problem was I didn't take accountability for my actions. And once I started to take accountability, once I started to think, I got out of there. And that's what many of you are. You're looking for easy solutions. You're looking for something for the average man. Repeat after me. I will no longer be aspiring to be the average man or woman. Let that go. When I had my other channel, Disruptive Male, and I was just talking about stuff I did, and people was like, until I started showing receipts. People didn't believe me. It was like, not you, Glendon. You ain't that handsome. Not you, Glendon. And I started throwing up receipts. People like, whoa, how did I get these results? Because I wasn't the average man. Going back to the income, I have defied my upbringing in ways that are unimaginable. If I had stuck to the script that was written for me based upon circumstances, birth, placement, where I was born in the country, I should be a 52-year-old man that would either be a janitor or, if I got lucky, working in the mine or at the steel mill. That's what was written for me. And I got called high-minded. I was talked about as a child because it's like, I actually said it. I'm like, I am not going in the cold. You want to know why? Every so often on the news, they come on, breaking news. 13 miners are caught in a coal mine crash. 23 miners died. There were men in my neighborhood who were in the mines, steel mill, missing fingers from industrial accidents. I was like, I am not doing that. And for that, I got called high-minded. It's like, you ain't no better than anyone else. You can get your ass in that coal mine. You can go over there to the steel mill. You big enough. I completely rewrote the script of my life, and you can too. Now let's talk about money and age. The older you are, the more extreme stuff you're going to have to do. I got on this journey, I was 32 years old. And I knew for me to have the life that I wanted, I was going to have to be self-employed or business owner. It wasn't going to happen through investing. And I know people who are investors. I know people who own multiple real estate, and most of them still work. They still work. This whole notion of I'm going to retire and do what I want. Here's a novel idea. Why don't you create a business serving people that makes you happy, makes you money, so you're doing what you want and you're making money. Don't wait until you 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, like, to do what you want. You should start doing what you want right now. I am. And that's another reason I am hated. I've been doing what I wanted since 2009. The storage auction business, I wanted to do it. It did not give me the flexibility of my time. I was on the clock. Whenever these auctions happen, I was there. Had to be. You auction at 8 o'clock, you show up at 10 if you want to. That sucker's over and there at the third or fourth property. But I enjoy it. I love doing it. So why don't you figure out what you can give to society? Because one of the things that I constantly get, what should I do? I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're a good person. I don't know if you're a bad person. I don't know if you have a good work ethic. Once again, for those of you who are quitting jobs, not talking to anybody, your bad habits are going to catch up with you in ways that you have never imagined, because it's a habit, and bad habits are hard to break. If you will not, I keep hearing like, hey, it's mine. I'm going to sell out. I'm going to work. No, you're not. You don't want to know why you're not going to work 12 hours, 18 hours. You ain't used to it. You can't do it. You'll try and then get burnt out and then want to take a vacation after 3 months. You ain't built for this life. I mean, seriously. During the research, I was just literally blown away at how many people. Well, one, the internet thing really blew me away. I had no clue that many people did not have high-speed internet. I was shocked. And I'm going to tell you something. Google Fiber is supposed to be coming to this area. I know it's going to sound very extreme, but if I have to move to get the Google Fiber, I will do so. Why? The internet is how I make my money. The faster internet I have, the faster, like the gigabyte when everybody isn't on the pipe, because it's not like a true dedicated line. In the morning, I'll get 600, 700, 800. And typically I try to upload videos in the morning or at night, but it'll load a 20-minute video in 4K in 7 minutes. What I used to have, that's like 3 to 4 hours. The more faster I can upload, the more videos I can put, because you will see a lot more videos coming. Just I'm doing some research. But stop being average. You got to get off that bus, because I have developed just some different opinions based upon my research, talking to people, looking at comments. Go to any video and check out the comments. That right there is gold if you're a marketer. Someone had put out this video, which they saw right through this person. They knew exactly what he was doing. The days of you being able to be a super slick salesperson online with no results, no receipts, this is starting to disappear. How many drop shipping channels you still see pumping out drop shipping videos every week? Most, they went way down. There's a reason. Drop shipping is saturated. Notice I said, saturated. There's always been drop shipping, and it always will be drop shipping. It's just how you set it up. And it's going to take true business acumen to do it right. The days of you just getting a Shopify store, finding a few key products and making thousands, if not millions of dollars, that's over. You can still do it, but you're going to have to really, really work hard. You can still do Amazon FBA. You're going to have to work really, really hard. Do eBay. That's a disaster, but you have to work really, really hard. You can make money on Craigslist. You're going to have to work really, really hard. See, the money is there. The desire to get the money ain't there. And that's what I'm talking about. Get off the bus. I have witnessed this, that on a Saturday when I needed something to do, and there were people who broke, like, hey, it's Saturday, man. I'm going to hang out with my boys. I'm going to hang out with my girls. I'm going to enjoy this weekend. I ain't got time to work. So what if my cell phone's getting cut off Monday? I have never seen this kind of attitude in my life. And it's going to catch up with a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all are going to be shacking with strangers. I see that as a growth industry. Anyone that can rent a room, if you have a house and you built, because it ain't easy, you're going to have to be managing multiple personalities. But if you want to rent out 3 rooms in your house, that's an easy $1,500 a month. There are so many people who cannot afford to live on their own. Seriously. This is going to be a growth industry. It ain't just New York. It ain't just California. It's everywhere. I have just seen some crazy stuff. But part of success is integrity. Part of success is wanting to do more than is asked of you, which is a big, big, big problem for many folks. You got folks who are trying to get the most for the least. It don't work like that. And I'm going to tell you how it works. When I was in the storage auction business, I worked very, very hard. In the beginning, I overworked. So over a number of years, I got special skill sets like that dude in Taken. I have a special, unique set of skill sets, right? And then I put them in that book and boom. So at that point, I did the least and got the most. But many people are always trying to get the most for the least. It's become a way of life. I know of a few people who have never left home and they're in their 50s. Never lived on their own. And one of them think that some dude's going to marry her. I'm just like, your expiration date expired many moons ago. So that's just a little chit chat today. Just wanted to get off my chest because you're going to have to get in that 0.5% if you want the life that you want. People don't even know what the 1% is. They don't even know what the 10% is. They don't even know what the 5% is. They don't know the numbers. They don't know who's in, who's out. They've got felonious stats saying 26K a year is middle class. That is not middle class. That's po, not poor, po. 26K a year in most of these states, that's po. Unless you're in Arkansas or Mississippi, the poorest states in the nation. You make it 26, you probably can rent a place on your own because everyone else making like 15K. It is a sad, sad state of affairs. And, you know, I will say I was wrong about the internet thing until I saw that article today. I had no clue that 40 to 50% of the nation does not have high speed internet. That's a problem in a digital world. If you don't have the latest internet, you're going to get left behind. It's just that simple. We are a service oriented country. There's so many opportunities on the internet. And if you're not using the internet and you don't have access to the internet, you don't have access to these opportunities. A lot of people are being digitally locked out, which is crazy when you think about it. Let's see. Let's go down here a little bit. What's going on, people? What's up, T Will? What's up, Raquel? D Brown, Lewis Point, Miss Finance, Raining Woman. What's going on? Brother Man Trucking. What's up? What's up, Green Machine? What's up, Crep Junkie? Silver New Jack. Cody, you want the truth? Awesome. Oh yeah, heating and air. That's some serious money. Thank you, Royce Gibbs. Hey, Rush, move. Let's talk about that. If you're in a place, and this kind of goes back to comfort level, if you want to be an internet person and make money online, you're going to need high speed internet. And I don't have it on this desk. You're going to need backup internet. I have the gigabyte over there. It's like, 600 to 900. Then I have the Verizon spots, which I use because during the middle of the day when I'm uploading the 4K video, it slows down. Like I can still surf, but it slows down the upload of the video. So I go ahead and pull out a hotspot and get on one of these other computers. If you're serious about your business, you're going to invest in your business. So if you're having a problem, you need to go to the government planning, call up Verizon, whoever you're in there, and say, hey, when are we going to get high speed internet? And find out where it is and go there. What's up, Marcus? Oh man, the hate is unreal, man. Thank you, Marcus Smith. You hype, David. Global stock investing. My first job was in Perry, Georgia, a dishwasher at Red Lobster. It was awesome times. Man, that was busy. Junkie, frying chicken, a takeaway. Oh man, Ralston Gibbs. I worked in the dish room at UPS headquarters. It was one of those temp jobs. That wore me out because what happens is when lunch is over, you're on for like 3 hours straight. There ain't no break. There ain't nothing. It's just grab trays. It was crazy. And I would agree, dishwashing in a busy restaurant is probably one of the hardest jobs you'll ever do. You're standing on your feet and you're moving at 100 miles an hour. All right, CN. Raquel, a lot of people plan to file for bankruptcy. Wow, I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. Stack the Flipper, what's up? Chris, I'm in New York City. If you solo, you'll be okay. If you're with a family, one income, kids not good. Once again, how much of an how much do you make? Because what I find to be obscene is the number of people who live in New York City who make 30 some K a year. That is crazy. Section 8 is great. People are telling me it's just, I mean, everybody doesn't work for the government. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out. Oh, there's something else that's coming, but this is why I'm doing my research because I got to set it off right because I don't want the same Yardbirds I had last time. Because put this in the comments and help me out. Why do you have people who watch a channel that they don't like the content or they disagree with? Me, if I see a channel I don't like the content and I disagree with, I don't watch no more. What's the point? Help me with that. $130K household with no kids. I think you'll be all right. Credit repair companies. Damn, crypto crack. Awesome, Section 8. All right, let's go through here. Ron's establish solid habits that will support the life you desire. Yeah, because I'm telling you, everywhere I went, people complimented me on my work ethic. That's something you can control. That's something you can own. And doing these half jobs or slacking off or disappearing, I will tell you a partial story. I'm not going to get into the full details. I know this girl. She's beautiful, but she is lazy. And this is why we parted ways. She is sloppy. Her house looked like a tornado hit it. And I realized, because I really liked her, and it's like, you keep up with this, you're going to become Captain Save-A-Ho. That's what you're going to do. You setting yourself up for a fail right now. So I just cut it off. 10 years later, she is living with her parents. She reached out to me the other day. She is living with her parents because she got evicted from her last apartment. Missed that bullet. Just shady. I was going to quit because I was thinking the same thing Glendon was saying. I don't think I'm getting paid enough. I'm 29. No. You are 100% in control of your income. You work a job. You don't feel that you're being paid what you're worth. Give yourself a raise. Start a small business on the side. No one's saying you can't start a business. It's about the bouncing back the fastest. Yeah, because the thing is, if you want to be in the top 5%, let me just explain that. The top 5% is a mental position. Anyone can get in the top point, the 0.5%. The 0.5% is I'm going to do better, a little bit better each day that I live. That's it. You're not going to make sweeping 180-degree changes in your life. Let's just let that go. Good point. I changed my workout. I used to lift real heavy, but it wasn't giving me the results that I wanted. From an emotional standpoint, it's like, yeah, I can deadlift 600 pounds, but I look like crap. So now the weight is probably half, but I can do 10, 15 reps and I'm getting the results that I want. You got to occupy that mental 0.5% position that you're going to do what you need to do, which is hard. It's not going to be easy. And that's why you have to make it a habit. I mean, go ahead online and look at the stats of a 52-year-old black male, and you will see, man, it's humbling to look at where the average 52-year-old black male is financially, emotionally. A lot of guys, because you got to understand, we're the first group of integration. You're born in the 60s. You were going through those first groups of integration or the second group. You went through a lot of stuff. So there was this thing and that thing. And then a lot of us did not have fathers, and a lot of us did not grow up in a house where someone had some sense, knew about money. So all of these things had to be figured out while you were still growing. And that money clock was ticking. I got off the bus at 32. I stopped believing in conventional things. This is why I continue to say that most financial investing advice is for poor people. If you started a fish truck, like you got one of those, say you started a barbecue grill, you really took your time, you learned how to make some really tasty barbecue, and you had a trailer and you had a pit, and you just went to a convenience store and was like, hey, can I post up here and I'll give you X whatever. If you did that consistently, because there'll be days that not many people gonna come by. That's just the habit of retail. But if you did that consistently, like say you worked 6 to 2:30, then 3:30 you go home, hook up your trailer, and from 3:30 to about 6 o'clock, catch that dinner crowd. You sold barbecue. You probably make 300 to 600 bucks a day. That would be life changing. It would be hard. You wouldn't be able to hang out. You wouldn't be able to watch movies. You wouldn't be able to just chill, but you have some money in your pockets. All right, Royston. Gandy goods and games. You can't bullshit the masses. The average client, or I should say consumer, is way more sophisticated than they were. It's like I saw this guy and I saw the views and I looked in the comments because I personally am not going to do real estate this way. Many people do leverage real estate from a highly leveraged position, meaning that they've put the least amount of money down to get the most equity. And that's all good as long as everything stays okay. You never have an accident. Your income never goes. The market never changes. Yeah, that's fine. But once these other variables start to come in, you're going to see that's the game Dave Ramsey tried to play, and he lost it all. Everyone I talk to about real estate is like, don't pay cash. Get a loan, take the depreciation over 27 and something years. And I'm like, I'm not doing that because once again, I get 4 properties. They're paid off. That would pay for my grandkids' college fund. If you have noticed something, rent is not going down. This is what'll happen in a recession. Rent will stabilize, may go down 50, 100 bucks, but that's it. Then once people, or during the recession, rent may go up because more people who are forced to rent than can buy. But rent, like some of these New York apartments, they used to rent for 500 bucks 20 years ago. Now they rent for 4,000. Imagine what they're going to be renting for 20 years from now. I guarantee you it won't be 4,000. Get the properties, hold on to them, understand. And let's have this conversation. I am not getting into real estate to become wealthy. I'm not. I am getting in real estate to preserve wealth, to take some money, put it into something where money doesn't get lost. That's why I have a whole different mindset about it, because what I do gets me money. So I don't have to do real estate to make money. I can do real estate very passively. I can sit on it. I can get slow returns. I just need some more assets in my portfolio. That's the way I'm approaching real estate. Shopify gurus only making money selling Shopify courses. Pretty much. The DSL Chronicles, what's up? I have seen a reduction in the drop shipping ads, like a big time drop, but I pay attention to them. Crep Chunky. Look, Charles Finney, Johnny Walden. Occupant outlook. How much money would you save before moving out? Let's go back. It just jumped. All right. Outlook. occupant outlook. This is how, if I was a young man living with the parents, what I would do. If you're living with the parents and you have good parents who are not charging you rent, a little something, maybe buy food or something like this, because your parents are there to support you. You need to save every penny that you can while you're living with them. Forget about 6-month runway. If you're living with someone, you're just not used to paying bills. That's going to be a shock to your system. So I would say if you're working full time, you need to save 90% of your after tax income and get yourself a grip in the bank. And for one, you go to an apartment complex, you never rent anything, and they, oh, yeah, I got 30, 40K in the bank. Approved. It will be no problem getting your own place. You won't have to have co-signers and all that stuff. And occupant, how much cash flow should go to rent? Ideally, with what I'm teaching, you should pay 5 to 10% of your income in rent, which means you need to push your income up. Once again, get out of this frame of, okay, I make it out and 30%. No, don't even think like that. It's like, okay, so let's say you live in New York City and you want a fly apartment. Your apartment's going to be $3K a month. So you'd be needing to be at 30K realistically, because then you can put money aside, you can afford the place, you can afford to furnish it. And this is coming from a guy who lived in the boarding house, who started with absolutely nothing. This is a guy who had no help from family. Everything you see, everything I have was generated by moi. And I didn't have the resources that many of you do. You need to focus on developing yourself. Black Caesar, high speed internet is definitely a must. If you're going to run an errand, one of the things I'm going to do in new courses is focus on internet businesses. Now, the problem with internet businesses is they're easy to start. That's the big problem with internet businesses. And because they're easy to start, there's so much competition. One of the things that I'm doing is like my model. Now, I'll do a separate channel for this. It's very hard to duplicate because it's complicated. That's done intentionally. If my business was super easy to copy, people would copy it. And just like, remember about 7, 8 years ago, when a lot of YouTubers started showing valuable things to put on eBay. I remember some I used to sell for like $250. It was this piece of antique. Well, on eBay, that's like $30 to this day. Because once information is dispersed, everyone gets it, and a lot of people start to crowd the market. And once people crowd the market, since most people are not business people, then they start, how do they sell? They sell on price. So they drop the price and kill a market. And that's what happens. So since I know that, like, how most people sell online courses, right? I'm selling an online university. There's a reason for that. It's very hard to duplicate. You're going to have a lot of people. So high-speed internet for anyone that's trying to create a complicated, hard to duplicate business is a necessity. It is a necessity because, give you an example. We were in a group talking about uploading in 4K. Many people don't believe in uploading in 4K. It's like 1080p is just good enough, right? I have IMAX, 5K IMAX. So I could probably see it better than someone who's using a regular computer screen. But I can tell 720 instantly. I can tell crappy 1080p. I can tell superb 1080p. And I can tell 4K just like that. If you go back and look at my older videos, they're 720. They look like crap. What's going to happen is the screens are going to get much better. Everyone's going to have like these 5K screens on their computers, and old video footage is going to look crappy. So what I'm doing, I'm uploading everything in 4K except for these streams, which is, this camera is capable of 4K. I just haven't set it up yet, but it will be noticed. and most of the young kids are uploading in 4K. And that's one of the reasons I have super high speed internet, because I have actually used up my internet allowance a few months. It's like you've exceeded, and it's something like 1,024 gigs. Use that up. Fuse, I 100% agree with you. Speaking of the internet, wait till the next 2 or so more billion people in the world with mobile devices online. More wealth will be created when the news. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is why I'm saying, as someone who was a physical products guy, that first ebook was like a hit of crack for me. It was just like, this came from my mind. I am the factory, and the internet is the distribution network. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread. This is why, and I still dabbled for maybe the first 3 years while I was doing YouTube, where I was still reselling and picking up stuff. But it just doesn't compare. Once you get that first hit of digital cash, you're irrevocably altered. You just can't go back. You may want to go back, but he's like, I can't, I gotta do this. I gotta do more of this. Well, Green Machine Taboo. Seeing, I'm finding this out. Many places in America have worse internet than some African countries. I did not know that, man. Marcus Brown, Glenn, do you consider selling a skill you can take anywhere? If you develop a overall selling profile or program, yes. If you know how just to sell cars, no. If you just know how to sell cell phones, no. And what I mean by a comprehensive sales program is, you go out and find the leads, you set the appointments, you make the phone calls, you close, you collect, you do it all. That's the best training for starting your own business. Oh, I didn't know Elon was that. Black Caesar, you should do an entrepreneurial workshop on the Advice Show with Erica Williams and other entrepreneurs. I am actually not going to do that, and I'm going to tell you why. The Advice Show, Erica Williams, O'Shea, all these folks are great people, and they're putting out great information. However, I am the odd man out on a lot of things. So going forward, probably a few months, I'm not going to do a show with anybody. I'm not going to go on anyone else's show. I'm going to build out my new platforms, because I want a broader audience. And once again, what these folks are doing is great, it's awesome, it's amazing. But I've done this a few times. So I'm going to build out some new channels, and you're going to have to find them, because I'm going to build them completely from scratch. I know that's like, what? Yeah. And this is why I'm doing all this research. And then my assistant is going to be sending out emails. And once again, this is going to be a whole new thing in 2019. Stack, they don't disagree. They just hate you because they ain't you. Could be. Raquel, yep, that definitely shows you how people really live paycheck to paycheck. My friend works for TSA and hasn't got paid since early this, so he's trying to get another job because TA still workers still. Man, I think that's probably one of the worst things that he ever did, because it's going to have some unintended consequences. Because when you ain't getting paid, you're not getting your medical. Think about that. Green Machine. I share your videos to my engineer buddy. He doesn't like your lack of professionalism. I've done many videos where I said I'm not a professional. And let's talk about this. Right now, I can go put up 100. No, let's make it 1,000 professionals. And I guarantee you, I'll make more money than 95% of their asses. How about that? Because that's a class thing, and that's an intellectual thing that because I got the numbers on this. A lot of professionals don't make that much money. And that ain't for everybody. Crub junkie. Hating is a broke people sport. Wow. Well, once again, one of the reasons I did this stream and just to get some stuff off my chest is you're going to have a bunch of people in the world that hurt because of false narratives. Everyone can't run their own business. Just because you want to be the boss doesn't mean that you have the capability to be boss. I know that's harsh. We shouldn't say that. We shouldn't dash the dreams of the children, right? Look at yourself, and you only have to answer comments. But would you hire yourself for $1 million job with your skill sets right now? If you had a company and someone that came in just like you, as you are right now, would you hire them and give them $1 million salary? If you pause, that's the answer. Because you know yourself when you're honest. And that's when I had this look in the mirror. And I was like, you messing up. You don't have the skill sets. I got really real with myself. And then I began to get on this upward trajectory because many people are not going to be successful until they get real with themselves. It'll always be someone else's fault. It'll always be the government. It'll be the man. You know, those other people got loans. No one's helped me out. And once again, you will have, I'm going to tell you this. Do what I do when you see someone online who's claiming to be full to you. Find their Facebook page and see how they live. That's all you got to do. Find their Facebook page. I can't count on the hands of the number of people who claim to be making money, but got to GoFundMe for their dog or talking about how they can't pay their bills on personal Facebook page. And also, if you find it and you see their page locked down, where you can't see nothing, no pictures of nothing, ask yourself why. And if they bet their page locked down, but they show receipts, okay, cool. But look at how they live. How they live is the fruit of their work. And if their fruit of their work is rotten, how can it help you? I see, because this is one of the things that Grant Cardone started years ago. You see that t-shirt he was wearing? You can't fake a jet. Grant be killing him. Let's see. Let's go back. Royston Gibbs. Google the author who wrote the Trump books and watch his interviews now. That's all I got to say on that. Melanated Lighthouse, $1,800 for a 1-bedroom in the middle of the ghetto in New York City. In 10 to 15 years, that's going to be $3,600. All right. 9% of your income. Thank you, Shavar Sampson. Being able to put together an online presentation like blogs, unless it's an old blog, I wouldn't even start a blog today. I would start a YouTube channel, I would start a podcast, or I would start an Instagram account, or I would start something on Facebook. I would not even, the only reason I have websites is to host the content that I sell. There is just, in my opinion, no point in starting the blog today. An interesting story. I had started a blog, and it was my YouTube channel that pulled me out of that mindset because it was a reciprocal event. Before I started posting YouTube videos, I would get like 10, 20 hits a day on my blog. was very, very disheartening. Started putting that link on YouTube, 200, 300 views. Whoa. And at the highest that blog got to was 2,500 views per month. And I had people coming after me to advertise. And I was like, no, you ain't going to destroy my sales. I was making more money on my own. And this is something that more and more people online will do in the future because it makes sense. But when you start a new YouTube channel, if you want to have one where it's like a commentary channel, start another channel. But if you want to have one that makes money, start one with the specific purpose to make money and serve people. The official John Jones. I'm about to quit my full-time job to do ecom full-time. Any advice? Make sure you have a grip saved, because once you lose that full-time income, hopefully you can take the full time you have to invest in business and increase your sales. But it usually takes 3 to 5 times as long as you think it should take. Eric Williams, this is hilarious. I'm listening to you as I drive back from purchasing a semi truck in Texas. Oh Lord, I think Bill Jordan. You got some stuff in here. Gardner Brown. I am not going to address any of these storage auction stuff anymore because that's just not who I am anymore. I actually go shopping in retail stores. The transformation is complete. I know, Cody. You just can't go back. The Underground Railroad. Royston, I left New York City 12 years ago because I seen it coming. Was staying in Fort Greene projects back in 04. They started to convert them. All right. Erica got people on here. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, once you get really real with yourself, you can be real with other people. One of the reasons that most people are duplicity or shade the truth, they ain't even telling themselves the truth. I remember it was one of these chicks, and she actually said, you just don't look like the guy. No, I was like, go ahead and say it. You normally with the taller dude, 6-pack, you're usually hanging out with Biff, the surfer dude. She said, yeah, don't worry about it. My sales is just that. Part of getting to know yourself is you can do remarkable things because you know who you are. And most people don't know who they are. They don't know what they would do in this situation. Like if I won $1 billion, I know exactly what I would do with them. I wouldn't even have to dream. I would be like heading off to buy one of these buildings, one of these 7, 8 tower buildings. That's what I would do with the money instantly. Wouldn't even have to think about it. Wouldn't even have to talk to, well, I would have to talk to attorneys to set up the contracts and stuff. But I would not even, I don't dream like I used to dream. I used to dream about all the stuff I would do when I got money. Then I got money and I started to acquire these things. And my dreams are like way different. Now I do have some fantasies about a jet. That's probably the biggest dream I have. And probably will never happen because it's just so impractical for what I do. Thank you, Adonis. What's up, Marlonius? Thanks for the $5, Alice. Silver New Jack. I averaged 35K a year on eBay without even trying. Then one year I applied myself by just listing one item a day. I made 70K, all while having a 6-figure job. People just sell something. And that's the trick, because this whole fire movement, and this will be very controversial. I don't think you should live like a pauper. I don't think that you should be pathologically cheap. I think you should say, hey, this type of money will fund the lifestyle that I want. Okay, so I'm gonna need 5, 10, 20K, right? Then your goal is to go out and make 10 times as much. So you can live the life you want, have enough money to invest and increase your wealth. this whole living like a chipmunk. Like once again, and some of these concepts are coming out now that people are acting like no one ever thought of them. I was talking about living on 50% of my income in 2012. And I think that's one of the things that pisses me off is the rebranding of sound practical concepts because now I have to define what I'm doing. Make more money. Define the lifestyle that you want, then make 10 to 20 times more money where you can live the life you want now and have money for later. It's real simple, but I think the lack of abundance mindset is one of the reasons that people buy into this fear mentality. Because one of the things is, I, as a person who owns not one but two luxury cars that are paid for, I take exception. Like, I don't need a sports car. I don't need a 4,000. I live in a 5,000 square foot house. And I was just like, so because you can't afford this stuff, you gonna crap on it. Okay, I get you. I see who you are. And that's because just listen to it. You always hear this stuff. You're buying stuff you don't need, which once again, I've talked about this several times. I have a set threshold of stuff I'll buy. Like once I get to that threshold, I just sell stuff. I just, like if I could, I would take you into the other side of the basement, which is empty, and it'll never be full unless I build it out and convert it to an office. I don't believe having a lot of stuff just to have a lot of stuff. But the superiority that comes through some of these videos, I have a plan for that. Just wait. You have to sell something. Global stock investing, real, recognized, real. I'm serious, man, because I see these videos and I'm just like, are you kidding me? But once again, because people don't know and they don't do the math, this is why they can be lied to. You make a grand total of 700K over 10 years and you turn that to 2.5 million. You must be getting 30, 40, 50% returns. You have to be to get that kind of money from a principal of 700K. Okay, Erica. Jay Preston, thanks for the $10 super chat. Thanks for the fire, Uncle G. Your info has helped several areas of my life. Appreciate you. The official Sean Johnson. I don't have a grip of cash because I've been using to clear up debt. My income business is 11K so far this month. Income is consistent without the 60 hours at my job. I should clear 25K a month. Before you leave, I would get that debt handled. There's a reason my cars are paid for. Recently, I had some stuff happen and I had a $5,000 repair bill on the SUV. It was more inconvenience versus, oh, now I got to spend $5,000 to get this fixed and I got to pay a car pay. And also the money's coming out of a savings account. So it's not coming out of direct cash. So I ain't even feeling it. But once again, this is why, you need to get to 5, which is free. The 5 checking account blueprint. JC Sanchez. Hello, Glendon. You were the best. One question. Would you advise to pay off a home in one large sum or borrow a few large sums? It just depends. If you have the money to pay off your home and still have 20, 30K left, do it. I know many people would advise you don't do it. Just for me, having a house that's paid off when you can do it, it's just such a peace of mind. Now, this place is part of my business. That's why it's not paid off because, well, like I said, that Google Fiber comes here. I've given myself a few outs in case things don't go as I plan. But if you have the ability to pay off your home and have 20, 30, 50K left, do it. And then take the money that you were using to pay your mortgage and throwing it on that savings. Done. It's because they're about that van life, man. Silver New Jack, I roll in a BMW M6 now just off my EB funds. I never knew I would get so many. Man, You're doing better than the average person. That's all it takes. Occupant. Oh, look, it's a recession like a clearance for the financially intelligent. Could be if you have cash. If you have cash, yeah, absolutely. Originally, we're on the market for a house now. The key, we're looking for an investment to live in. We're about to pay 450 for a house worth 650 after 50K in rehab, move in equity. Well, once again, part of what I advise is do things that make you happy. And if that's going to make you happy and it's not going to financially hurt you, do it. I mean, I just spent like 2,800 bucks on some lunch because I like how it looked. I know crazy stuff. And from time to time, I'll do that. But as long as it fits into the allotment of what money I use to live on, it doesn't matter. But once again, I've set my budget at a high level because the overall gross income is high. And this is I'm telling you to do. If you want to live on the beach, do the numbers. Find a house, find a way that you can live on the beach, figure out what it is, and start running the numbers. Because typically, when you run the numbers, sometimes things are more expensive than you think they are, or sometimes they're less expensive. But until you know these numbers, it's very hard to make sound and practical decision. Like I had a friend who wanted to sell her business for 500,000, and I was like, Dina, don't do it, please don't do it. And we ragged it out where she hired someone, which was a great expense, but now the business does twice as much. And she just signs checks and travels all over the world. So if you've got an asset like a business or some, don't sell it, manage it better. All right. So with that, I'm going to part. There should be some regular videos up tomorrow. If you want to be part of the basic money finance course, go below. One payment, 75 bucks. You're in. And there's a lot more that's coming. A lot more. All right. So for those of folks who celebrate this great holiday, celebrate it while you can. It may disappear. And I will see you guys later.